Oceania wouldn't exist without the Kaleidyscope project, because the whole point of Kaleidyscope was to sort of start at a new point and break it back down. So the first 4 songs of the Teargarden process weren't trying to make a single. All we were trying to do was find a new core of music to work from. Part of it was sentimental, and part of it was trying to figure out how to let go of the past in an effective way. When you have a band that has a legacy, people just automatically assume it's going to sound like what they're familiar with. But then you're competing with their memory. And when you're competing with the memory, you can never win. So we had to sort of start somewhere and kind of rebuild, break some things back down. And eventually we realized that was only effective to a point. We stopped the one song at a time process, and we just went in the studio and made a traditional album, having learned everything we learned from the Kaleidyscope process. I've always looked at the Kaleidyscope project as an unfolding project that embraces social media and other things as part of the process. In essence, now you're literally watching the film as it's being made. That's why big movie companies do all these documentaries and stuff, because just putting on a movie isn't enough anymore. There has to be some other interest. I want to see the special effects, or I heard they do this weird thing, you know, I read on my Twitter that blah, 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 blah. Rock and roll doesn't do very well with those types of things, so those systems need to be redefined, and that's what we've been trying to do. We just look at it as this, we're just trying to shake things up enough to get off our own asses to move forward. When you have a band with a legacy, there's a lot of comfortability built in, and you can fall back into that anytime you want. No one's going to call you out on it. Hence all these bands touring on their old albums, and everyone's saying it's great. No, it's not great. It's terrible for the business overall. And it actually diminishes the power of young artists, because, again, how are they going to compete with that one song against the classic album? It's like clutching on the edge of something, you know? Nobody wants to fall in the abyss. With the Smashing Pumpkins, we've just decided to fall in the abyss, and I believe the Phoenix aspect of Oceania exists because we were willing to fall in the abyss and walk away from the easy part of the business. It might end up being 43 songs, it might end up being 60. It's just a way to sort of focus and say we're going to go in this particular direction, and here's why. The fact that the audience was ignoring it for the most part didn't really matter to us, because we were learning along the way for ourselves. I know this may sound a bit arrogant, but you know, if you're playing in front of a chess champ and he decides to play with, you know, one eye closed or something, I mean, people assume that I forgot how to make commercial music or mainstream rock and roll. I never forgot. I helped pioneer some of the things that still exist that people still use in alternative radio, as far as how they make their singles and the sounds they use and stuff like that. I didn't hit my head and forget all those things. I just didn't feel like doing those things because I didn't see where that was really working. Once I had enough information to bring something new to the table, then that's what we did. I love videos, but the point is they're just not effective right now. As a rock and roll musician, my job is to be effective at what I do, and I would love to make videos again. I have a good history with videos.